pulled together 50 wives to write a book titled Wives on Fire. She hosts a weekly talk radio show, Marriage on Fire, and monthly date nights. Stay tuned as we share some tips to keep the fire in your marriage. This show is for singles also, but wives, we talking to you tonight. We'll get right into it right after this quick intro.
Whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Sharvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Sharvette Mitchell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard all across the world wide web. Welcome. Thank you so much for checking us out and hanging out with us today. Listen, you know, the goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence, and we're going to do just that today. This segment is brought to you by my Platform Builder program. Yes. Confidently learn the skills and strategies and tools you need to build your visibility, your personal brand, and your platform in 6 to 12 months. Jump over to platformbuilder.biz and find out all the deets. Welcome to all those that are coming on in right now. Hello, Dominique. Hey, girl. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Hello, Wendy. Thank you for being here. Hello. Hey to my mom. Hey, mom. Thanks for being here. Yes, Wendy. We're going to throw something in for the singles. We're going to throw something in. And hello, Sabrina. Thank you of sismotivation.com. Check her out. We are excited because we are jumping into this segment. And listen, my guest is hanging out in the virtual studio. She's ready to come up to the mic. Let me just do a little bit more of an introduction for you. Minister Deidra Roussaw and her marriages and authors of Marriage on Fire. Minister Deidra is a certified signature wife coach, a certified leadership mentor, a relationship expert. Oh my goodness, a leadership influencer. She's a wife blogger and the founder of WifeStyle Wives. Some of them may catch the show, and you can found out about them all over on Facebook. And there's an amazing Facebook group there, all led by Minister Deidra Roussaw, who's coming up to the mic. Listen, I could keep going on and on and on. If you're hanging out at Sharvette.com or checking out the podcast later, the show notes have all of the information about our guest. Let me bring her up to the mic right now, live on the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Hello, Minister Deidra.
Hey, Sharvette, how are you?
I am doing well. How are you doing?
That's good. Excellent. Thanks for asking.
Listen, the room is already full. Hey there. Hey, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Shout out to my blood sister, Shalom. She's hanging out over there, welcoming you as well. Hello to those on Periscope. Those watching, give us some hearts. If you have wives on your timeline, you need to share this show out, share it out. So let's get started and really talk about how was Together Marriage's birth. How did that become about?
Well, actually, my husband and I, back in 2008, we hit like a brick wall in our marriage, and we didn't know where to go. We're both certified Christian counselors. So I wanted counseling. My husband didn't want counseling. You know, most counselors don't want counseling.
Uh-huh.
So what I decided to do is to go did some certification classes, not for anyone else, but for me, because I was trying to save my marriage. This is my second marriage. So right. I didn't want to feel like a failure. The first time, my first marriage, I was running, I ran. And this time I was going to run too, but then we just stopped. So we did like maybe 6 or 7 different certified classes, but that was to get for our marriages. And then people started asking us, you know, coming back with issues. Our mentors helped us as far as they could. But then after we did that, we were renewing our vows at Sandals in Jamaica. And my pastor paid for us to get on a jet ski. When we got on there, we were imbibing. As a matter of fact, I was getting ready to leave him when we got back to Philly. And the jet ski toppled over in 35 feet of water. and we almost drowned. They had to come rescue us with the life preservers and the boat and all that. And the Lord said to me while I was under the water that he could take me out, but he had something for me to do, for me to get myself together. And lo and behold, I didn't know he said the same thing to my husband. I found out a year later. It took us a year to really get back on track. So when he said to me, he wanted me to start an outreach marriage ministry. Well, at this time, there were no outreach marriage ministries. And it sounded crazy to me. And when I told my husband, it sounded crazy to him. But when I told my bishop, he was like, oh, yeah, do it. And I didn't know, but the Lord gave it to me bit by bit by bit. And then it all came together. Once it all came together, we did a free marriage conference. And it was so amazing. And then wives start coming to me, asking me, could I coach them? Because they know that I had got, we were back where we, as a matter of fact, better than we were before. And so they were asking me. So I was a relationship coach. And that was one of my certifications from WCI. So what I started doing is coaching wives, and I became a wife coach.
Wow. And I think that people probably wives probably resonate with you because you have been through something. Mm-hmm. It's hard, if there isn't if you don't really have a message and you can't really say that you have been near or in somebody else's shoes to be able to help them. Do you feel like being transparent and sharing you all's story of where you were and where you are now has been able to really help you connect with people?
Well, I do. In my first marriage, my ex-husband, he cheated, and his mistress was at our wedding. So it was a big forgiveness issue, and then when it was just like, I was a runner. I'm number 10 of 11 children. So, my parents separated when I was 4, and my mom was a strong woman. She taught us to be independent, self-sufficient, and all of that. So It's hard to be in a marriage. It's hard to be in a godly marriage when you've never really saw a godly marriage. So, that's where we hit the brick wall. So who do you go to? We went to our mentors, but they could do open so much. So it was like, okay, we had to kind of pull ourselves up at times by our own bootstrap. And so wives started calling me and reaching out, and, they started coming to me. I didn't go to them. So it was like, and so the Lord said to form TrulyWed Wives. So the first 2 years, it was just me by myself, just trying to figure it out because I had never seen anything like it. And I didn't really want to talk about it because people would have been like, that's crazy. That's weird. So then I brought one of my girlfriends on. She was an event planner and a realtor. I was a marriage coach. Plus, my husband and I, we owned a travel agency for over 21 years. So we brought that all together. And then more wives were asking. So the Lord said, open it up for more wives. So I prayed, and it was like all of them were like my childhood friends, or some was family, just feral wives who really wanted to make their marriage work, who had been through something. And most of them, it's funny because most of them are entrepreneurs, and they are amazing women.
Wow. Amazing women. And I think the proof is in the pudding when people are coming to you. Comedian Wendy Lee, also known as Quiet Storm, is asking, does Minister Deidra Roussaw coach those who are already married, or does she assist those who desire to be wives?
So it's twofold. So I really coach wives who are married and those who desire to be married. We put together a group. It's 4 wives, and I think it's called the pursuit of marriage. And so we're working on that, and we're going to launch that in January. So it's 4 of us. We're all relationship coaches, or, some dealing with relationships, and everybody's already established. So we got together because we get that all the time. Singles come to me, they come to them. And so we said, this is what we would do, and we're going to launch it. So we'll let you know soon come. All right. Soon come.
All right, January. There you go, Wendy. There you go. Wonderful. And so the Facebook group, because TrulyWed Wives is over 4,700 wives on the Facebook page. How can people connect and get to that actually Facebook page?
They can look us up. It's under TrulyWed Wives. We have a page and we have a group. And in the group, it's like it's just really good information, and we want to see everybody win in their marriage, So
Yeah.
that's basically what we do. So they can just go right to the page, ask to, be a part of the group, and our administrator, one of the administrators will add them in.
All right, wonderful. So,
or desire to be married, because you got to be careful, because a lot of men been trying to join.
Oh, okay. There you go. See, it's yeah. Wendy said she'll probably still be single. Well, that's good to know, because sometimes you only hear, it seems like you only hear the women talking about being wanting to be married. So I'm glad to hear that some men are also reaching out and trying to get the deets and all that too.
But they can't get in our group. My husband has a group called Husbands United, and they have a husband's huddle. So they huddle around the Bible so they can connect with my husband, not with us wives.
All right, awesome. Which brings to the point that you and your husband do things together, and you have, so which I think is great, because you are able to talk directly to the wives, but then he's able to talk directly to the men, and then this is all kind of formed together. So I know that there are people listening, wives that are listening, others that are listening in that want some tips, because you said wife on fire. So that sounds like she keeping things spicy, she keeping things hot. So can you give 3 to 5 tips for those that are listening saying, okay, I want to be a wife on fire. What do I got to do all of that?
And you have to be intentional about wanting your marriage to work, because we all know that the sun don't shine every day in marriage, but it doesn't rain, and it's work. Marriage is a lot of work. I'm going to be honest. It's less work now because, I got over the hard part leading up to 10 years. That 10th year was the hardest time. We're 22 years in the second marriage for me. Who could do that but the Lord?
Wow.
So that's the first thing. And the second thing is being authentic. A lot of times we want to put on these masks to make it seem like everything is okay. And I did that in my first marriage. And, I was running to divorce court, so we got to make sure that we're doing what we need to do. And we're being authentic. Now, we can't be authentic and transparent with everybody, but you can find that person where you can dialogue, because one thing that I noticed, there's nothing new under the sun. Whatever a wife go through, some wife somewhere went through it somehow.
Yeah.
The second thing. And then the third thing is you need a mentor or a coach. You definitely do, because it's for me, like my mentor was telling me not to do things, but after a while I got in the flesh. So I was just like, look, I'm sick of this. But she was in my ear, the conviction. So you need somebody that can walk alongside of you, not to judge you, but to hold you accountable. And I needed accountability. So as wives, we need accountability. When we want to do something, just, run it by a sister, run it by another wife, and get her thought process. So they are the 3 tips that I would really, give wives, because sometimes it's difficult. My husband always say marriage is the most difficult relationship, yet is the most rewarding. Sometimes we got to make sure that we, take it back to the altar. Our thought process, our mantra is from ceremony to matrimony. When we're getting married, we call it all up in the gown, the veil, the this, the that, the $1 million wedding, but then you got a $10 marriage. So it's from to matrimony, right? Because you got to
wait a minute, pause the track. Did y'all hear that? $1 million wedding and a $10 marriage. Hashtag ouch. Woo. Okay, I just had to repeat that. Keep going, Minister Deidra.
I've seen it even in my marriage. I've seen it. I got a bird's eye view. So that's what we encourage people to be their authentic selves, because, in our community, we like to cover things up and make it seem like it's okay. And then there's a breaking point. And then when you broke, it's like no turning back. So it's a big thing. My husband and I, we wrote a devotional. It's not out yet, but we have a radio show, a Marriage on Fire radio show. And we're going through the devotional, and it's on forgiveness. It's called the Forgiveness Project, because forgiveness is a project.
Yeah.
And it's like the art of forgiveness. So it's a 40-day devotional and journal. And why do we write it? Because we needed that. Like, I had an issue with unforgiveness. If you do something to me, I'm going to get you back.
Uh-oh.
it changed the whole trajectory around, and I had to allow him to do it opposed to me doing it. So that's where that concept came from.
Wonderful. And you do have books out now that people could go buy on Amazon and different places. Tell us about all the books that you have, you and your husband together, or you singly have out available for people.
So my husband and I, we have a 30-day Marriage on Fire devotional. So it's a devotional, and you do it for 30 days. And we normally do it on December the 1st. We go through it, and so we come on social media, or we email information out what to do on this day. And we have prayer points and different things like that. And then with TrulyWed Wives, we wrote a book. It's over 50 wives that wrote a book, and it's titled Wives on Fire. And I wanted to write a book for wives, but I didn't really want to write a book. So the Lord had me on different ones. You know how you want to do something, but you like, I don't really want to do it. So the Lord had me, ask wives. So I asked wives that they want to do it, and we created this project. And I'm telling you, it is so amazing because wives had to dig in. Like I talked about my first marriage. I call that the practice marriage, because that marriage allowed me to get this marriage right. Even though I went through it one time, I was able to get it right. So then other wives went through. You got wives that lost babies, wives that been through divorce, wives that actually lost their husbands to death, And so wives had a lot of different issues. Wives were unforgiveness, wives who were bitter, and they're telling their stories. So they talked about the trials, the tribulations, and the triumph, how God got them over. And so it's helping other wives. So it's just a blessing. And then my last book, that just launched, I think in August, and that's called Nobody Left Behind. So 12 Steps to Becoming the Ultimate Wife. So it's, it's a quick read, but it's a lot of information. So it just teaches you how not to be left behind, because I felt like I was left behind. But that's what that book does.
Oh, wow. Listen, this is a great spot to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I want to hear, because anyone that can pull together 50 women listen, I've got some of my co-authors here. It's 10 of us, but you pulled together 50 women to write a book. I want to hear a little bit more about that. And I also want you to give some tips. We're in this COVID space and period. And I know that you talk a lot about date nights. So I'd love for you to give some advice, some tips, examples of maybe some different and creative date nights that people can do, since maybe everything is not completely opened up yet. So we're going to let you go back to the virtual green room and bring you right back after this quick commercial break. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to all those that are hanging out here with me. You're checking us out here on the Sharvette Mitchell radio show. The goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we are excited. We're sharing some tips and strategies and tools and just letting you hear a little bit more for those of you that are wives in particular. So let's take a quick commercial break. Thank you for all those that are watching. We'll be right back. And this segment is brought to you by my Platform Builder program. And you're going to hear a testimonial right now.
Hi everyone, this is Althea Simpson. I am the founder of Unicorn Life Play Therapy Training, where play therapy is magical, and the founder of Brighter Day Therapeutic Solutions. I am one of the members of Sharvette's Platform Builders program, and if you want to level up or level out in your business, oh my God, check out Sharvette's Platform Builders program. It has done so much for my business, looking at brand colors and how I can incorporate different aspects of developing products and the right client and everything. So this is such an amazing program, and I think you should check it out. All right, take care.
All right. Again, jump over to platformbuilder.biz so we can talk and chat, and you can find out all the deets. All right. Let's jump right back on in. I'm bringing my guest back up to the virtual studio. Mike, Minister Deidra Roussaw. Welcome, welcome, welcome. While people are watching and listening, what's the best ways to connect with you on social media?
TrulyWed Wives. We're on all social media platforms. And then if you're married, Together Marriages on all social media platforms.
All right, there you go. All right, we want some of your date night tips. If you can give us some ideas, some strategies, and listen, singles. If you're dating, you might can grab. I don't know. Maybe you can. I don't know how far you're gonna go. You might can grab some of it, but Give us some ideas about date night in this kind of COVID time period.
Well, my husband and I, we started a local date night. The tri-state area, Philly, Delaware, New Jersey, Maryland, and some people from New York. So we would go to different restaurants. We went to Black-owned restaurants, just to support. And so we would do that like one Friday out of the month. But I moved from Philly to Nashville. And so, the Lord was like, go global. So we made it a national date night. So what my husband and I do, we go live. We have a group, a date night tour and experience group. So we go live in the group before we go to our date night, or we just have a date night while we're in the group. So we try to do extraordinary. We don't want to do the ordinary. We try to do extraordinary. So the last Saturday of the year, my husband and I, we just do a whole date day. So we go to one restaurant for breakfast that we've never been to, one for lunch we've never been to, one for dinner we've never been to. We didn't get to dessert, but this year we're going to go to 4. And so we do a date night or a date night in. Like this year for date night, this Friday, we're putting our Christmas tree up, our Christmas decoration.
What? Okay, are we what? Okay, so for Halloween, you put Christmas up before Halloween.
Right, but where is it written at?
You're right.
Yeah, so it's like I like to do things different. I'm not normal. I like to do extraordinary. So, and that's what we do. Sometimes for date night, we create a project. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. Most people go to dinner, go to a movie, but there's a lot of different things. We have a bucket list date night. So whatever that is on your bucket list, you got to go. And we tell everybody to create their own bucket list. So on a bucket list, it could be ice skating, it could be, bowling, but it could be anything that you want to do. My husband and I, one date night, we cooked dinner together and it was a blessing. So we just had a recipe party. He bought his recipes and I bought mine. I didn't know what he was cooking. He didn't know what I was cooking, but we cooked it all together.
Oh, these are great tips.
Yeah. So we just, everybody do the norm. Like, I don't want to do the norm. And what I realized is when I add different things, like my husband and I, we host a Marriage on Fire retreat every year. And we do it the first week in December because the divorce rate is high in January and August. In January, because, that's some people's New Year resolution. I'm getting out this marriage for the new year. That, and then August after the family vacation, they hold after the family vacation. So we do it the first week in December, and we bring our pastors. There's 4 of them. 3 of them are doctors, and 1 is an attorney. And we go to a different sandals resort in the islands, or sometimes we go to a high-end cruise, and then we have a date night. We have a signature date night in white, and we have on white, and it's just so romantic. And then we're pouring into the couples. So if we're pouring into the couples, we're trying to get them to come together on one accord. And if they got a good marriage, we want them to have a better marriage. So when Christmas comes, nobody not caught up and I don't have money for this or this, that, and the other. So it's about the couple. So that's what we normally do. And that date night, it's just, it's just such a blessing. So we just try to do different things. We try not to just do the normal stuff.
I love it. I love it, which makes perfect sense since you all, have a travel company. How important is travel and embedding travel, in relationships and marriages and all that?
It's very important. My husband and I not right now because of COVID, but we do a getaway. So we were going to do this getaway. I like road trips and, I drive my husband crazy. He had to, last month, he had to go to Dallas for his job. So he flew. So I got my daughter and my grandchildren, they were on break. I said, let's take a road trip to Dallas. So we drove to Dallas from Nashville, and then we went to Houston and then came back. So now I want to go to Ohio. I want to go to Detroit. And I was talking to one of our leaders yesterday, and she was just saying from this hotel in Detroit, you can see Canada. So it's only 4 hours. So now I just told my husband, instead of going in November, let's wait and go in the spring because I want to go to Cincinnati. I want to drive over the Cincinnati Bridge. And then I want to go to Detroit. I want to do all the things that, and then, but it's like we bring that. And our goal, me and my husband, it's to visit all 50 states except, the prejudice ones. I don't feel like all that. But that's our goal. So we keep doing different things, and it's exciting. And my husband never know what to expect from me. So that's the blessed thing.
Oh, wow. And I definitely hear a theme of, do a bucket list together as a couple,
Right.
plan, things that you want to do together as a couple. And here's an interesting comment. So a comedian, Wendy Lee, I thought divorce rate was high in January to avoid getting a Valentine's gift.
I know somebody better not be divorcing over no Valentine's Day gift.
There is that. And so travel is important, and travel is, I love that thought that you said. Now, the 50 women you pulled together to compile this book, you're the visionary author. In a book collaboration, for those that may be listening, that's when a bunch of authors get together and write books. I actually have 2 of mine here. My latest book, Pour, is out and available on my website, and you can also get it on Amazon. We've got some of my co-authors here. Wendy Lee is the first chapter in this book. And then also my book, Propel, was last year's book collaboration. So, 13 and 10 doesn't beat 50. So how did you just logistically get it done?
Well, we launched it back in 2015, and it was 32 wives, but otherwise wanted to get in it. So we added a Men the Blend section. So I host a Men the Blend. Back in 2016, I hosted these Men the Blend luncheons, and it was for wives of blended families because, sometimes wives are misunderstood, especially in a blended family.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. And then the other wives wanted to get in it. So we just added the blended part. And when we added the blended part, we just added wives to it. So it was like a volume 2, but we really just, put just the book together. And it's wives from across the nation. We even had one wife from Darnell from the Bahama Tourist Board. She's in the book. So it's really a blessing. And then you read it because sometimes we think it's just us. The enemy think it's just us. But it's more than just us. And then, you talk your story and how you got through. People want to know, how did you get through? Your ex-husband cheated and his mistress was at the wedding. Of course, I didn't know. And that was when I slide was out. And when I found out, and let me tell you, this sister was jamming at my wedding. Do you hear me? She was turning and twirling. She was really jamming. And she was in my family. So, it's just like the best day of my life at that time turned to be the worst day of my life. But God gave me a do-over. And that's how God can do, because this is the real deal. So it's like, you gotta fight for your marriage. You gotta fight to keep it where, God will have it. And, we know that God is the only one that can keep my husband. I can't keep him. I trust God for my husband. I trust God for my marriage. I trust God for me, because sometimes I don't know what I'm going to do.
It's so true. And so certainly those that are listening and watching, you can hear faith is embedded in Minister Deidra Russo's everything. And so you're going to get faith. It doesn't, any way you cut it, slice it. And so if somebody wants to work with you one-on-one, do you do anything like that where wives could work with you one-on-one individually?
Well, actually, I'm revamping things. So I work with wives who are CEOs, and I'm teaching them how to balance business and marriage. So I'm really moving to that component. We're getting ready to launch our Marriage on Fire magazine, and it's just different things. But I was working with wives, but as far as their relationship, more wives, they want to know about business. They like, how have you been in business for all these years? And so I just added that component because I just add what people ask for or what the Lord gives me. So they're able to work with me one-on-one, but it's just, I would have to speak to them and just show them what to do.
Got it. Well, it sounds like definitely the best connection point is TrulyWed Wives Facebook page, which anyone can go and just check out all the great things there that you all offer. And this has been really great just hearing what you've done and also what is coming down the pike. And so thank you for your mission to help wives stay on fire, marriages stay on fire, and all that good stuff. And so the last question I have for you, the goal of my show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we want to know what continues to motivate you.
When I just see my marriage, I know, growing up, the marriages I saw was, of course, the Evans, Good Times, the Huxtables, and the Jeffersons. And, I just aspire to have all of that in my marriage. We had the struggle. Now we had this. Now we're geared towards where we should be going. So I just want to be a better wife. I just want to be who God called me to be, a godly wife, not leaning to my own understanding, but doing what He called me to be.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that mission. We will stay connected. Shout out to Philadelphia. I got friends and connections in Philly. And certainly, I know you in Nashville, but that accent ain't going to, I don't know if it's going to ever leave you. The Philly accent.
I'm a Philly girl for life. 215.
Philly for life.
I do have a website. I'm sorry.
Yes, please share.
TrulyWedWives.com or togethermarriages.org. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. No problem. You all got it. Screenshot, connect. I tagged in a couple different places, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. If you're hanging out at Sharvette.com, there's a full bio there. Thanks. My sister Kim is saying, thank you. Good show. Good advice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wendy was like, this was good. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Dominique said, don't say you love me and you're not willing to do the work. You're not willing to do the work. Hashtag facts. There you go. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll keep our eye on you.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. Thank you. All right. It is a wrap today. I know you guys enjoyed that. And so to find out more about the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, you can jump over to Sharvette.com. The address is right there on your screen. Screenshot it. You might be listening from iTunes and all of those places. Just look in the show notes and you'll see some links there. Again, I'm Sharvette Mitchell. I work with female entrepreneurs and a few lucky men to help them build their online platforms and personal brands so that they generate more revenue. And one of the ways that I do that is with this platform, this show, which is over 13 years old now. Yep. Can you believe it? So subscribe if you're on iTunes. Go ahead and subscribe if you are an iTunes listener. Subscribe, and of course, Facebook. You guys know I'm a keep it together over here for you guys. I'm gonna keep it together over here. Thank you so much, Dion, for hanging out with us. Thank you, Mom, for saying thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, it's a wrap. I'm gonna see you guys later on the web. Bye.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Catch Sharvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m., interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and